like you, a sovereign and prosperous Ukraine. But we must start by recognizing that returning to Ukraine's pre-2014 borders is an unrealistic objective. Chasing this illusionary goal will only prolong the war and cause more suffering. A durable peace for Ukraine must include robust security guarantees to ensure that the war will not begin again. This must not be Minsk 3.0. That said, the United States does not believe that NATO membership for Ukraine is a realistic outcome of a negotiated settlement. Instead, any security guarantee must be backed by capable European and non-European troops. If these troops are deployed as peacekeepers to Ukraine at any point, they should be deployed as part of a non-NATO mission, and they should not be covered under Article 5. There also must be robust international oversight of the line of contact. To be clear, as part of any security guarantee, there will not be U.S. troops deployed to Ukraine.
Yes, that is our current Secretary of Secretary of Defense, Mr. Pete Hegseth, who used to be a host on Fox News. You want to talk about merit? Hosting a show on Fox News apparently is enough to get you to be the defense secretary and serving some time in the military. Who knew? In a recent announcement, our president, Donald John Trump, stated that he has started negotiating about ending the war in Ukraine with Vladimir Putin. Yes, this decision follows a phone call with the Russian president where Trump said that their discussion was very productive, highly productive. That's how he said it. In a post on Truth Social, Trump revealed that he is planning to inform Volodymyr Zelensky, who is the president of Ukraine, about these discussions, and said that it's serious. So you better fall in line, buddy. Now, leading these negotiations, Donald Trump has assigned State Secretary of State Marco Rubio, CIA Director John Ratcliffe, National Security Advisor Michael Waltz, and his Jewish business gangster, Ambassador Steve Witkoff, who got the ceasefire deal in Gaza done. Trump highlighted the significant loss of life that came from this long conflict, and this has, which has seen almost 1 million Ukrainians injured or killed since 2022. Wow. He has also expressed a desire to stop further casualties, stating that no more lives should be lost. And, I've been telling you guys for 3 years this is how this was going to end. This is how it was going to end. This was always how it was going to end. This is what happens. The Ukrainians are finding out when you get in bed with the United States of America, this is how it always ends up. Ask Iraq, ask Afghanistan, ask Libya, ask Syria, ask Somalia, ask Vietnam, ask anybody that's ever gotten in bed with the United States or the United States has ever turned its eyes to, and you will see massive destruction. 1 million Ukrainians were either killed or injured for basically no reason other than, resources, as always, and because the United States government wanted to weaken Russia. Russia. And this is always one of the reasons they hate Trump. I wanted to play this clip really quick because Donald Trump, I always tell people the difference between liberals and conservatives is this. Conservatives may tell more lies, but the Democrats tell the bigger lies. And Donald Trump, he may lie more per capita than most of our presidents or all of our presidents, but when he tells the truth, he tells the absolute truth, the unmitigated, unadulterated truth that you will not get from Barack Obama, You will not get this from, you know, Joe Biden or Kamala Harris, any of these other people. Donald Trump just literally said the quiet part out loud about Ukraine.
I want to have our money secured because we're spending hundreds of billions of dollars. And, you know, they may make a deal, they may not make a deal, they may be Russian someday, or they may not be Russian someday, but we're going to have all this money in there. And I say, I want it back. And I told them that I want the equivalent, like $500 billion worth of rare earth. And they've essentially agreed to do that. So at least we don't feel stupid. Otherwise, we're stupid. I said to them, we have to get something. We can't continue to pay this money, you know.
Yep, that's why they hate him. Because he just said the quiet part out loud. We want the minerals. This is what this has always been about. They wanted to weaken Russia, and they wanted Ukraine's minerals. This is how it always happens. All this nonsense about preserving democracy and stopping Russia from, you know, breaking international laws. Our government is literally helping Israel commit the worst genocide since the Holocaust as we speak. They don't give a doggone about human rights. They don't give a doggone about human rights for us. Like, seriously. I could be shot like a dog right now in front of this station by a police officer, and half the country would be happy just because of my skin color. Like, since when do they care about non-Americans' health and well-being and freedom? They don't care about mine. They don't care about yours. If you ever thought they cared about Ukraine's safety or freedom, I'm sorry, you are a dunce. You're a dunce. You're cuckoo. Cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. And I've been telling you guys from day one that they did not care about these Ukrainian people. They don't. Ukraine had a deal in 2022. I've talked about that before. That was revealed by Israel's former president, Naftali Bennett, who said we had a deal in 2022 in April. Now, mind you, the Ukrainian conflict started in February, the end of February. I think it was February 27th, 2022. I think that's when Russia invaded technically. That's when this current sort of stage of the conflict, because it started really 10 years ago when our government overthrew Ukraine's government and, you know, replaced them with a pro-NATO, pro-American government that started bombing and killing the Russian-speaking part of Ukraine from Kiev. But this current iteration, this current stage of the Ukrainian conflict started, I think it was February 26th to February 27th, 2022. They had a deal in April of 2022. That's not me saying this. That's Israel's former president, Naftali Bennett, saying that. We had a deal. After 2 months, all the high gas prices we paid, $5 and $6. I remember going to fill up the car because I still had a van at this point. I got to spend 20, 30, 40. Like, it's just, it was crazy. Still, the food prices, I'm still paying twice as much as I did for some things. Things like oatmeal. I used to pay $2.20 for. Now I'm paying $6 and $7 for the same thing. 2 and 3 times for the same thing. That started in 2022 with the Ukrainian conflict. Ukraine is the breadbasket of Europe. All the oats, all the grain, all the breads came from Ukraine. And so when Ukraine was destroyed, the prices of everything went up. Of all the food in our grocery stores, that's really where the inflation started going crazy. People act like it's been like this since, especially a lot of right-wing people like to pretend that it was just because they gave us $1,200. Or, I'm sorry, what was it, $1,800 or something altogether with the stimulus? No. When that conflict started, that's when the gas prices started going crazy. That's when the food prices started going crazy. That's when they started price gouging us really crazy when the conflict happened. The conflict could have been over in 2 months. And now Ukraine has lost at least 500,000 people. At least. Probably about 750,000 people. Probably have about 500,000 or 250,000 people injured. The average age of a Ukrainian soldier on the front lines is 43 years old. Anybody want to guess why the people fighting in Ukraine are so old all of a sudden? Anybody? It's because Russia killed all their young people. They've lost an entire generation of people to this conflict that could have been over after 2 months. But our government, the greatest purveyor of violence in the world, as Martin Luther King called it, prolonged this. And also the United Kingdom. Boris Johnson, who was the Prime Minister of the UK at the time, went over to Ukraine while Zelensky and Putin were working on a deal and said, don't take this. Don't take the deal. We'll help you win. We'll help you win. They knew he wasn't going to beat Russia. They just wanted to weaken Russia's government because they've been wanting to decapitate Russia's government like we do every other country that we set our eyes on. Just like we did in Syria a few months ago. Just like we did in Iraq. Just like we did in Afghanistan. Just like we did in Libya when we killed Gaddafi. And then we want to take Russia's natural resources because Russia has oil and Russia has minerals. And if that's not bad enough, all those billions of dollars, hundreds of billions of dollars that we've sent over there, half of the weapons that we've sent to Ukraine now are being resold on the black market. And a lot of them are ending up with the Mexican drug cartels that are sneaking people into this country. So how you feel about that? Was it worth it? I think not. All right, folks. We're going to keep moving on. I don't know why. We're going to keep moving on. Hold on, caller. I'll get you when I come back. When we come back, we're going to talk about why Trump is really concerned about South Africa. We'll be right back after these.